What is good? What is up? It's Jordan, or Texans Thoughts, and we are finally back with another live stream. First of all, how is the volume? We good? I know it's been a little on and off recently, but if we're all good, give me a thumbs up. How's everyone doing? I know it's been a minute. I apologize. I need to take some time off, just to clear my head of all the negativity around the Texans, work on some stuff on myself, and do some job stuff as well. So that's where I've been in the past month. But we are back here, and what a great day to return. I had to do a bit of an emergency stream. Sounds good. Awesome. Thank you, McMac. Appreciate that. Good evening. Beige is in the building. H-Town Henry. Darren. Let's go. Let's go. I'm so hyped for the season to start. I mean, training camp officially kind of started on Sunday, but I think they're actually reporting it and I'm going to do more on field work on Wednesday, 9 a.m. So I'm excited to hear the few leaks that we'll get from that. But man, we've got a lot on the menu for today. Whew, these past, 48, 72 hours have been kind of crazy in Texans world. Beige, damn, haven't seen you in a long time. Let's forget how... Thank you, my guy. Appreciate you and all your handsomeness as well. But yeah, man, past weekend, man, a whole lot of Texans news. So start off with, Deshaun actually reporting to training camp. If you guys were in one of my most recent streams, Pat Storm, the man, the myth, legend himself, he said it that Deshaun has no intention to hold out from training camp. And the man's always right. Well, not always right, but probably the most right out of any people in the Texans world, So that happened. That kind of spun the whole head around. And then we hear that, sorry, actually, let me talk about that a little bit more. I think with Deshaun reporting to camp, the inner fan of me, the inner guy who loves watching Deshaun Watson play football and knows that he's an MVP caliber quarterback, that part of me that's still left, it makes me want to hope that he can be a Texan in 2021 and play for us. But looking at it realistically and looking at it from Deshaun's point of view, why is he reporting to camp? Well, he's making $50,000 every single day he reports to camp. And it's camp. It's low maintenance. You're most likely not going to get injured. And you tell me I can make $50,000 a day? Yeah, that's a tough opportunity to pass up for sure. And then the other reason that he's motivated to show up is it's kind of a message to send to the NFL. That's what a lot of people are saying. It's a message to send to the NFL saying, hey, I'm committed to playing this year, whether I might not know what team it's on, but I'm committed, and let's do it. What's good? Pat's in the building. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on Deshaun reporting to camp. I think in terms of whether he'll return to the Texans or not, if that's a closed door or not, I don't know. But I think getting him in the building, getting him into NRG is one of the very few steps that needed to be taken to kind of try and rebuild and reconcile that relationship. So you never know. I would never say never to anything. Jordan Heron says, check Landry Locker's tweet talking about Watson change of character. Crazy, bro. I will check that out after. Appreciate that, Jordan. All right. Now there was another report recently saying that the Texans are now willing to trade Deshaun Watson. And there's been a lot of differing reports from national media, from local media, whether or not the Texans have been willing to trade him all along, whether they've been listening to offers all along, or whether they've been receiving offers all along. And from essentially what I know and from people that I trust, the report saying that they're now willing to trade him is pretty bullshit. They've always kind of explored around those options. They've had teams calling them, and yeah, that's always kind of been a thing. So in my mind, that's not really changed too much. Willie Boy P, what's good, my guy? How you doing? Matt Mars in the building. Oof. Hey, boy Jair's in the building. Let's go. Check out his YouTube channel. Just started it up recently. He's making some good content over there. I'll link it in the chat once I pull it up. TXN Football. You can just hit his channel name right there in the chat, but I'll link it anyways because that's my boy. There you go. Check out that channel. Hit the subscribe button. Boys in the building. Oh, we are filling it up. This is great to see. We're past the dead zone of the off-season. Training camp is soon, and I'm so hyped just to watch football, man. But talking about the Deshaun Watson trade, I'm kind of not believing some certain things from local media saying that the Texans haven't received any calls at all, and so yeah, there's that. That's my take on that, because of the things that I've heard, but we can't really get into detail with that. But the two teams that people have been throwing out all since the initial trade request, I think those are still the two teams who are most likely to get a deal done for Deshaun Watson. You got the Miami Dolphins and you got the Philadelphia Eagles. Don't think that's really changed too much. They've got the best capital. And looking at Miami, for instance, I mean, they've got 3 firsts, 2 seconds, and 3 thirds within the next 2 years. That's when you can trade draft picks from. They've got San Fran's first in 2022. They're second in 2022. Sorry, Miami second in 2022. Then they've got both San Fran and Miami's thirds in 2022. Then in 2023, you've got San Fran's first and Miami's first. And you've got Miami's own second and third. So that is 3, 6, 8 potential picks. You know, high quality first 3 round picks that the Dolphins could potentially get. I'm not saying we're gonna get all of that in a Deshaun trade, but that's definitely, no question about it, Miami has the most capital to trade for. And then you tack on the players. Woo, woo. All the talk is around Xavier Howard, and I get it. I mean, he's probably a top 5 cornerback in the league, and I wouldn't be mad at getting him, obviously, but he's 28. And so I'm looking at some of the younger guys, right? I'm looking at guys like Christian Wilkins, you know? Let me share my screen for y'all real quick. I got a list for y'all. There you go. There you go. Little list of players that I would look for from regarding Miami, regarding Philly. Tweeted out the other day. Maybe this was today. I don't even know. July 26th? What's the date? It is July 26th. All right. Christian Wilkins, number 1 on my list in terms of players that I would be wanting to look for in a return for a Deshaun Watson trade. This guy's 25 years old, former first-round pick, stud in the trenches. Defensive tackle is a big need for us. And how do you build great teams? You build through the trenches, man. Look at the Buccaneers, all right? Won the most recent Super Bowl. It's always going to need to be an emphasis in the team. Next guy I haven't seen his name thrown around too often, but Noah Igbenogany, the recent first-round pick, not in 2021, but 2020, at cornerback. Very athletic dude, very young, still hasn't really seen a whole lot of time improving himself yet, but cornerbacks, you need that too, for sure. So those would be the top 2 guys I would want. I would love Xavier Howard. The only thing is, like I said, his age, 28, but you could look to flip him to a contender that's willing to pay another first-round pick for him. And then in terms of the quarterbacks, I think it's an interesting discussion between the 2 quarterbacks, Tua and Jalen. I get the question a lot of time, Jordan, who would you want? Would you rather have Jalen Hurts or would you rather have Tua Tagovailoa? And before I give y'all my answer, I want to hear from you. Put in the chat, put up Hurts or put up Tua. Which quarterback would you guys rather have on the Texans as part of this Watson deal? Until I see your guys' comments, I'm just talking about Josh Sweat is another guy, another underrated name out of Philly. He had 6 sacks for them, but in a very rotational role. I think he started like 3 games. He was essentially their defensive end, like 3 or 4. And so putting up 6 sacks off the bench, I think if you give him the starters role, he gonna go off, man. He gonna go off. Jerome Baker's a good coverage linebacker. Kevon Wallace a good safety. Both young guys that I would look for. But we got a super chat, so I gotta hype it up. Who we got? Hey, oh, we got 2 of them things I missed. My bad. Money Mass in the building. His return, $20. We back, baby. Would it really be a Texans Thoughts stream if I didn't drop a 20 bomb? Let's go. Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much. It's good to see you back. Patrick Storm says, yes, sir. Bring me Wilk. Christian Wilkins, man. Woo, he's a beast. We also got one from Willie Boy P. He says for $2, thank you, man. No better time to become a member. Let's fucking go. Yes, you guys can become a member of the Texans Thoughts team. Get that little icon next to your name that you see from Beige, from Patrick Storm, from Alpha, all my boys. Linked in the description. You can get monthly exclusive videos. I did an exclusive stream last month for you guys for just members only. It is $3.99 a month or $10.99 a month. For both of those options, you get exclusive monthly videos, access to our exclusive Discord, And then for the 1099, you get to call into the stream. And so we'll have guys like Ryan, George, Jay come on in and talk Texans with us. All right, let's get to our question that I asked about the quarterbacks. Beige wants Tua. See Tua, Hurts, Tua. Ooh, I'd probably say it's like 60-40 in the chat for Hurts. Okay, and that's kind of where I'm thinking too. I made a video on Tua pretty much right around when the trade rumors were circling, and it kind of showcased his strengths, his weaknesses, but the main point that I took away and I want you guys to take away from it is that Tua will always be kind of more of that game manager quarterback. He's not going to be the Deshaun type to, carry a shitty team and really elevate, great talents and make them elite. Whereas Tua, he needs more surrounding help around him to be great. And so I'd rather go with a guy like Hurts, who, not the perfect quarterback, didn't have a great rookie season with the Eagles, but when you watch him play, and even as a rookie, you can see the clutch factor that he has. You can see he was making plays late fourth quarter, making big-time tough throws off script when his offensive line was horrible. He had probably the worst weapons in the league. I mean, it was a tough situation for him to walk into, and I think he showed some big-time promise. And he's a year younger, so I would go Hurts as well. All right, let's read up on the chat a little bit. Can be Havoc said, we haven't seen Tua fully healthy. The man had just come off surgery and was rebuilding. Now he had time to build muscle and mind. I agree with that too, man. I agree with that too. I think where I've come to stand on the Tua topic is that the hate was definitely overblown. I mean, like you said, this is a guy coming off of a tough surgery that some people didn't think he was going to play through, but he did. He got thrown in and out of the lineup, killing his confidence for Fitzmagic, right? And the Dolphins, horrible offensive line, not great weapons, meh run game, bad offensive system overall. So it was tough for him as well to put up numbers, but I'm not writing him off whatsoever. I just think his ultimate potential, his ultimate ceiling is lower than that of a Jalen Hurts. Eric B says, give Davis Mills a chance this year. If he doesn't pan out, then try to get Rattler next year. Absolutely. I mean, give him a chance. Never going to write someone off before they've even played a snap. If he surprises us all, man, then the picks that we do get in this potential Deshaun Watson trade, you don't got to spend him on a quarterback, man. If Davis Mills can show out, you can go get Kayvon Thibodeau. Go get Derek Stingley, defensive end and cornerback, which most people say are the two best players in next class. So, I mean, just go BPA, man. I hear that as well. Chat looking fire. The hype is back, man. The hype is back. Oh, my God. It's been good to get back. Let's see what y'all are saying. Hurts is a tougher player. I love Hurts, man. I think he has like the winner's mindset. And I'm not saying that Tua does, but I'm more doesn't. But I'm more confident in that aspect with Hurts. Tua is Brad Johnson 2.0. Oof. Beige says Tua left-handed, keeps Titus to become the blind side tackle. Hey, all right, I gotta find a tweet. I was gonna bring this up later, but I gotta show y'all this tweet. I gotta show y'all two tweets, and then y'all let me know if they're related or maybe I'm just overreacting, reading into things too much. So, Aaron Wilson reported that the Texans placed Marcus Cannon and Lane Taylor on the physically unable to perform list because of their knees, and so. Earlier, this was later in the day, but earlier in the day, I mean, Titus Howard said, hey, this will be a great camp. I mean, maybe I'm reading into it too much, but maybe this is also a move solidifying, hey, God damn it, I am the right tackle of the Houston Texans, and ain't nobody gonna take that title away from me. All right? That's what I hope. That's what I really hope, man, because he deserves it. He is the better tackle than Marcus Cannon, by far. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading into it too much. Jordan, how about my boy Castro? We gonna get to that in a second. Let me talk a little bit more about this Deshaun trade, and then I'll get into the wide receiver trades and how Castro has been reshaping this slot wide receiver position very smartly. But first of all, thank you, Jerome. Jerome's back with the $7. That's when you also know the Texans Thoughts streams are back. $7. Jerome says Deshaun news sucks, but I'm hyped for the new players and Anthony Miller has a lot of untapped potential. We're going to get right into that soon. So I talked about Miami and the picks that they've got. I'm sweating. It's hot in my room. Woo. We talked about Miami and the picks that they have and the players that they have to potentially provide us in a Deshaun Watson trade. But let's look at Philly, the second most likely team. They have 3 firsts, potentially 4 available if the whole Carson Wentz deal. I think if he plays, if he starts 10 games or something more than that, then the second round pick conveys into a first round pick. So the Eagles could have the most in terms of quantity of first round picks and the quality. I mean, Philly is just a worse team how they're built right now pre a Deshaun Watson trade. And of course, either of these destinations, Miami or Philly, gaining a Deshaun Watson is going to boost up that pick a little bit. They're going to be a better team, but I think Philly's picks would convey higher than Miami's would. So Philly has potential 2022 first. 2 of them, one from Philly, one from Miami. The third one can be from Indy. And then they've got their second and third in 2022. And then in 2023, they can offer their first, second, and third as well. They've got all those picks. So Philly's definitely an enticing offer. I think for them, for me, it would start with the 3 first-round picks that are being reported. Got to throw in Jalen Hurts there. And then I would just want Josh Sweat. That's the only really player on that team who's young and who intrigues me. I think obviously the rookies are interesting as well. Guys like Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson. I like Kenneth Gainwell, the running back that they got. But I just don't see, it's not very often that teams will make a trade for rookies that they recently signed in the span of like a month or 2, right? So I think if the trade happens at the end of the season, which is when it should happen, then you get that entire season to reevaluate. You get to see Hurts and Tua's second seasons. Get to see how they develop, progress. Are they on the road to being a quarterback who can lead you to that Super Bowl, right? And you get to also see younger guys like Christian Wilkins, Noah Igbenogany I mentioned, and Josh Sweat. So trade's got to happen at the end of the season. I really hope so. I really, really hope so. Houston Texans talk says he won't be for what? What was that about? Titus being the tackle? I don't know. But Beige believes in it. I like that. RJ Flores saying Ryan Finley gang. Good luck to him. Hex _ LL or I don't know. But what you think of Dennis Kelly? You think we will sign? Oh, that's the other news. Along with Marcus Cannon, the other offensive line news is that with Marcus Cannon and Lane Taylor being on the PUP, physically unable to perform, we brought in Dennis Kelly. He was with the Titans. He usually plays right tackle. I think he can play a little bit of both. But I think if he was going to be signed, I think we would have heard about it today, unless there's some stuff with his physical that's taking too long. But I don't know. I think if we're going to add an offensive lineman, I think it would be more so a guard, and Jair made this point on Twitter, so credit to him. But I think it would more so be a guard than a tackle, because if you look at the tackles, behind Tunsil, behind Titus, you've got Cannon. Yes, he's on PUP. But you've also got 2 more in Rod Johnson and Charlie Heck. And it would be interesting to see what Heck has. Can he be the swing tackle of future? Can he become maybe a starting caliber right tackle that you could potentially trade as well and just up his value? So I don't think they go with another tackle like Dennis Kelly, to be honest. Does Deshaun want to go to Philly? I don't know. Pat might have some insight on that, but I do not know. Throw Steve Nelson in the trade. Ooh, nice cornerback. Assassins Outdoor says the sleeper team to trade for Deshaun is Washington. They're in the market for a quarterback. They have less draft picks to give, but have more intriguing players they can give, especially on defense. Hey man, throw me Chase Young or it ain't happening. I'd rather have Chase Young than their first round draft pick. I'd rather have Chase Young probably than their next 2 first round draft picks, because you already know what Chase Young is, right? You already know he's that Kayvon Thibodeau type of level talent. Potentially better. So give me Chase Young, man. He's streaming solo tonight. Yeah, that's how most of my streams go. I kind of like it, but I also love having guests like Pat on. And we can have the Texans Thoughts team leaders on if they are in the building. I know Ryan's been busy, so I don't know if he will be. Isn't that Tim Kelly's brother? Is it? Are they related? I'm not 100% sure on that, to be honest with you. All right. We talked about the trades, talked about the timing, talked about the potential package. Let's get into the slot wide receiver news that we've got. So first off, we'll start with Anthony Miller, and we'll talk about him as a player, and then we'll get into kind of the mind games that Nick Caserio is playing chess, not checkers. God damn it, and I love it. So Anthony Miller, the reported trade value, Miller comp. Here we go. Let me share my screen. Definitely, if you guys aren't following Aaron Wilson, I don't know what you're doing, but he's probably the best in terms of being on top of these things for the Texans. But he says to acquire wide receiver Anthony Miller, the Texans traded their 2022 fifth round pick and also picked up the Bears' seventh round pick for next year. So late day 3 pick swap, low risk, potentially high reward in getting a former second round pick in Anthony Miller. Talking about the player that he is, very athletic slot wide receiver. That's where he's gonna play for us. Really good route runner in terms of separating and getting open. And he's got some juice after the catch. He's got speed to win downfield, but also when you get the ball in his hands, he'll make some guys miss. And so I really like that, especially out of the slot position. And it's funny, when you see these trades happen, there's always people, and rightfully so, there's always people who question, okay, well, why were the Bears so willing to give up on him, right? And like, if he was so good, why they trade him, right? And hearing at least from some people on Twitter who watch Bears games and have seen Anthony Miller, he's basically their version of Kiki QT. All right, super athletic wide receiver, slot wide receiver, shows great flashes. You love the flashes, but he has some brain farts, some wrong routes, some timely drops, some times where he's just trying to do too much and make a hero play. And there's also some questions about his work ethic. So it's literally just in my brain. This is deja vu on Kiki QT. But you talk about a scenery change for Anthony Miller. You talk about the things that could have held him back and could have caused all those issues. I mean, the frustrations of having to be thrown to by Mitchell Trubisky and Nick Foles, the frustrations of Matt Nagy offense that everyone just rips to shreds. I mean, that shit is horrible. It puts you in a tough position. And I'm not completely taking the blame off of Miller, but that's why a situation change, a scenery change could be good for him. Similarly, how to most of us think that, Kiki QT, he's good talent, give him another chance, but also maybe a scenery change might be good for him. It happens all the time, man. And so I'm glad that we're taking on, I don't want to say a reclamation project, but a guy whose value had fallen and he's young and he hasn't reached his ceiling yet, and we can take that chance on him at a position of need now. And so that position of need is exemplified by the fact that Nick Caserio, man, I mean, it was just recently reported that with the whole Aaron Rodgers situation, one of the things that his return is hanging up on is Green Bay kind of making some moves, adding some concessions, as they said on Twitter. Let me pull up the tweet. Is this it? Yes, here we are. So Jonathan Jones is reporting, as Trey Wingos noted, Aaron Rodgers absolutely wants Randall Cobb back with the Packers. Sources tell me that desire set in motion, the Texans trading for former Bears wide receiver Anthony Miller over the weekend. So there was that. Let me bring up the other one. And this was the original tweet that Jonathan was referring to. Trey Wingo says, hearing Rodgers coming back to Green Bay, hinging on trading for former teammate Randall Cobb. If Cobb is in Green Bay, it looks like Rodgers will be too. So that is huge. The Green Bay Packers, it looks like they're almost out of the woods of their quarterback fiasco, but it's hinging on one dang thing. And it's hinging on getting Rodgers' long-time trusted weapon that they have been super successful for together. And let's not act like Randall Cobb can't play. I mean, he's a solid starting slot wide receiver. He would start for us. He would start for Green Bay, right? And if that's what it's going to take to bring him back, as a Packers GM, you got to be damn desperate to make this trade happen, right? You got to be damn desperate. And so I don't know how high of a capital that we could get in return for Cobb, whether it's a player, maybe it's a young player that we could actually get. Jordan Love? No, probably not. Not. But it's probably more likely going to be a mid-round pick. 4th, 5th round pick. I would try and at least get a 5th round pick out of this because that's what you gave up to go get Anthony Miller. But you should honestly be able to leverage it for way more, because if this is what's really going to take, if the rumors are true and this is the sole thing holding back your franchise quarterback from returning to Green Bay, I mean, that's got to be worth a whole lot more than just a 5th round pick, 4th round pick, right? That's the way I would think about it, and that's the way if I was Nick Caserio, I would try and sell it to Green Bay's front office. And what makes me think that this trade is very likely in terms of happening is the fact that the Anthony Miller trade did happen. Like these people are all saying, it's what spawned the Anthony Miller trade happening. And so I'm not 100% confident that the Miller trade would happen without the Cobb trade. I mean, it's still a good move on its own, but 3 slot wide receivers, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. So you get rid of one of them in Cobb, it makes a whole lot more sense. So I think Caserio playing that quite well, and I hope he can up the leverage, man, or use his leverage, sorry, to get the best deal for Cobb. And I mean, Cobb was definitely one of those guys that we thought or we hoped could be traded last year in the trade deadline, but clearly there weren't enough suitors, and now it's time, man. Now it's time, because he does have a $10.4 million cap hit in 2021 and a $10.2 million cap hit in 2022. Now, we wouldn't be saving super amount of money this year, but next year for sure, because this year, the reason why we won't be saving a ton is because he has a $12 million dead cap. But hey, we get off the $10 million next year, and that's what really matters. And it opens up snaps for the Miller versus QT slot wide receiver competition. Put it in the chat. Who do you guys think is going to win that competition? Is it going to be Anthony Miller, or is it going to be QT? Put Miller or QT. Jordan Heron says, so Quincy Avery said something along the lines of Watson was going to get traded yesterday. What was that pure speculation, or is there more to it? I will definitely get into that, Jordan. I just want to see what y'all going to say about the slot wide receivers. Oh, we got Jay in the building. Jay's in the building. Jay, you want to come on the stream? You trying to be heard? I would love to have you, my guy. Miller. Matt Mar says Kiki. Use both. You could use both. You could go some 4 wide receivers. You got Cooks and Collins on the outside. You go QT and Miller on the inside. That could be fun. Miller. I'll have a video out on Miller as soon as I can, but NFL Game Pass, which is where I get my film to show and break down to y'all, it's been down for almost a week now, so they got to get their shit together, and then I can break down the film and show y'all, what went right, what went wrong for Miller. But it seems like it's mostly Miller, and I agree. I think he should. They're very similar players, honestly, but I really liked Miller out of college. Really liked him. Super athletic, man. Use Kiki like Obi's favorite receiver. I forgot his name. Who the fuck is Obi's favorite wide receiver? I don't know. But yeah, okay, let's talk about you looking more tan today, Jordan. You've been on the vacation. I've been to the beach 3 times in the past 5 days. And it's been great. It's been great. I'm sweating though. God damn. Woo. It's hot up in here in Vancouver. It is what it is. Oh man, we are popping now. 135 concurrent viewers. Let's go. Appreciate everyone coming through for the stream. We still got a little bit more to talk to, but I just want to say thank you. Videos should be getting back up rolling here. I posted one literally today about training camp and some 5 position battles. I was looking at defensive end, cornerback, defensive tackle, wide receiver, and offensive line. So that video is up on the channel if you want to check it out. I also wrote an article about it on Texans Unfiltered, so check out the site if you want more Texans content. Hot in Vancouver. I know. Every time I complain, y'all are always like, nah, bitch, reverse card. It's hot in Houston. I know. It sucks. Hey, talking about that, I want to come to a Texans game this year. Fly down to Houston and definitely check out a game and meet some of y'all. So that's something I'm thinking about. I gotta plan it soon, but yeah, that should happen this year, man. Hit the like button, exactly. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you, my boys. Woo. All right. What was the other thing I want to talk about? Right. Jordan Heron said, let me find the comment in the chat. He said about Quincy Avery, right? So there was another tweet. I think he went on Adam Schefter's podcast either yesterday or today it was, but DeAndre Carter, that's his. Oh, good riddance. Nah, you can finally try Whataburger. Ooh, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Apparently, it's the GOAT. I'm definitely gonna go to the game. All right, me and Matt will sync it up. We'll take his private jet, and we'll be all good. We'll be all good. All right. Yeah. So Quincy Avery went on, I believe it was Adam Schefter's podcast, and basically just really heaped on the fact that he believes a trade is going to happen soon. And so I'm hearing that. I'm hearing the national media pumping it as well. And so what I'm thinking is that, here, let me pull up this. Let me pull up my tweet actually, and that'll help explain it. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, here's my tweet that I was saying. Okay, so this was based off of the initial Tom Pelissero report saying the Texans are now willing to listen to trade offers, yada, 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 right? And so if I said, if the Texans have been listening to trade offers for some time, which I fully believe because of what I've heard, why is this being reported now? Are things heating up for real? Where there's smoke, there's fire. There's probably some of that. Or is it just more smoke and trying to shape a narrative from someone's camp? And the timing of Quincy Avery doing that at the same time as the national media getting this report that, the Texans are now willing to listen and willing to trade Deshaun Watson, it's a little fishy to me. It's a little fishy to me because Quincy Avery, he doesn't do stuff like that. He doesn't do stuff like that whatsoever. And so you pair that with the fact that there are 10 more alleged civil cases to be filed or to whatever it was the number was today. The timing of all of that seems a little fishy to me, and it seems like Deshaun's camp is pushing the Texans to trade him a little bit. And so I think that if that is the case, if that is the truth, then Nick Caserio, it's this one last gut check. You got to hold strong, you got to stand your ground, and you got to hold your leverage because the ball's in his court. He's got the leverage, man. So stay strong till you get the capital that you deem worthy for Deshaun Watson, which should be insane. Should be like no other trade what we've seen before. So I think he's got to hold out to throughout this rest of the season if they aren't getting what they're hoping for. Oh, we got Pat saying the leak about the Texans listening and willing to trade isn't from Watson's camp. Okay, well, there you go. The leak about the Texans listening and willing to trade isn't from Watson's camp. What was I about to say? I had a thought and then I lost it. To me, it was fishy, but if Pat says it ain't, then it likely ain't. I just found it a little odd all that happened at the same time. What's hot in Canada though? Let's see, what is it now? Let me do the conversion for y'all. 40 Celsius, which I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Celsius to Fahrenheit. 40, 104. 40 is when I start to say it's getting hot, man. It's getting hot. So 104-ish. What's good, fam? Astro Rocket Texan, how you doing? Holiday was a beast. Who's Holiday? Oh, Trendon Holiday. For sure. 104 Fahrenheit, bruh. It's a hot day, ain't it? Yeah, I wasn't just complaining for nothing. Which sometimes I do, so that's fair. That's hotter than San Antonio. God damn, yeah, man. You must not have humidity. No, I'm pretty lucky, honestly, because of how West Coast we are. But yeah, it gets bad here sometimes, but not for too long. Not for too long. I love it here. What was I gonna say? We talked about the Deshaun trade a little bit. Talked about potential package. We talked about Anthony Miller. We talked about the Randall Cobb trade. We talked about the offensive line, Marcus Cannon, Lane Taylor going physically unable to perform. Oh, the last thing I want to talk about was, and then we'll get into answering some of y'all's questions. Last thing I want to talk about, just another young guy that we can hopefully maybe put a waiver claim in and just take a chance on. But Vikings rookie, Jalen Twyman, he was waived. He was a 6th round pick. He was unfortunately shot 4 times earlier this summer in Washington. And so it's kind of shitty that the Vikings did that, especially if they have no intention of like re-signing him. But I've heard some things saying that they plan on re-signing him, but I think most of the teams at the top of the waiver wire would want to take a shot on a guy like Jalen Twyman for free, essentially. Just bring him into camp once he's healthy, see how he can compete. Very athletic defensive tackle, gets after the quarterback, and so it's just a quick name that I would like them to take a chance on. Young guy. All right. If y'all got any questions, we're up to almost 150. If y'all got any questions in the chat, you should revert to their NFI list. Dang. We can't get our hands on him. But yeah, if y'all got any questions, appreciate y'all. Put them in the chat and we'll talk. What players would you want in return besides Hurts from the Eagles for Deshaun? All right, I'll bring it back up. Players to trade for. Here we go. It's the list I put out earlier today. You asked about Philly, so let's talk about Philly. There's only really 2 other non-Jalen Hurts names that I would want from Philly. I'll throw in one after I talk about these 2, but Josh Sweat is number 1 for me. 24-year-old defensive end, freak athlete. I believe he's 6'5" with like crazy long arms. He's super fast. Let me bring up his Josh Sweat's NFL Combine. Why am I on like Bing? What is this? Yahoo? What am I doing? Come on, Wi-Fi. You can do it. There you go. All right, yeah. So he ran a 4.53 at 6'5", 250. He's got 34-inch arms. He jumped 39.5 inches, 124-inch broad jump, so he's explosive as hell. He's fast in a straight line. And then you look at his stats, and they're nice for a rotational guy, all right? He played 14 games, only started 3. So, I mean, this is a guy who played only 38% of the snaps last year, but he put up 6 sacks. And he had 4 the year before. So it's not like it's just a one-year wonder. 6 sacks, 12 quarterback hits, 9 tackles for loss in a very limited role. I mean, he played just slightly more than Jacob Martin did, but he still put up 6 sacks. I mean, that's really, really tough to do. And he's learned from veteran guys like Brandon Graham. And I think he would be the guy I would want from Philly. I think it would be tough to pry him out of there, but he would be number 1 for me. The other guy is Kayvon Wallace. He's kind of a nickel safety hybrid. He went to Clemson in college, and he's become a starter with Philly. Super versatile, can defend the run, can defend the pass. Let me look up his stats. I haven't seen his stats whatsoever. Rookie season. More of a rotational role. Okay, his stats aren't too crazy, but I think the upside with him is pretty good. Yeah. So those would be the 2 guys I would really think about. And then the last one would be possibly Derek Barnett, but he's kind of not that good. He'd be like a really good 3rd defensive end, a backup guy, rotational guy, but he's not someone you'd want as a starter. So he'd be more of like a throw-in. All right, let's get back to the questions. Are you using OBS now? I am using OBS. Yes, sir. I mean, they could if he goes unclaimed. Yeah, can't we put in a waiver claim? We'll be pretty high up in the thing, right, for Jalen Twyman? All right. Bring him in. Yes, how do you feel about Javar Gaffney? I have never heard of him. I agree with you. We should wait until we get max potential for Watson if we trade him. Yes, sir. Do you think we can get Chandler Jones? I don't think so. I think Jones is either going to want to go to a place that's going to pay him top dollar, which shouldn't be us because of his age, or he's going to want to go to a team that is going to compete for a ring, which, again, won't be us this year. So I don't think Chandler Jones is really that realistic. DC has been crazy with the shootings. Turf was going out here. Kids getting killed. That's fucking so sad, man. 6 years old. Jesus. To Atlanta. That is hot as hell. Nah, you can't complain. He's playing XFL before COVID. Turn the volume up. Is it still bad? I thought it was good. Sorry, I was talking a little bit quieter. Sure it can. Will be wild, but I wouldn't hate it. Okay. We don't have a wide receiver 1. I mean, we'll be top 10. What are y'all talking about? Y'all talking about wide receivers. Okay. I think the wide receiver room is okay for now. I think especially because, I mean, the priority really is just about getting younger. Especially if Deshaun Watson isn't going to play for us. Obviously, if Deshaun wants to play for us, which no one knows really, but then you'd want to work towards, you know, getting established weapons to surround him with. But with the way that things are trending, you just want to get young guys. And so that's why I like potentially trading Cobb, opening up snaps for Anthony Miller, Kiki QT, and then hopefully Nico Collins can get that start at wide receiver 2, beat out the veterans like Chris Conley, like who else did we sign? Dante Moncrief, Alex Erickson. I think he can beat those guys out pretty easy. Volume's good. Awesome. Tyrod's going to lead the Texans Super Bowl. Hey, man, if he does it, I'll be so happy. But let's see it. When you come down to Houston, can you bring some poutine? Hey, it's going to be nasty as fuck after a 12-hour flight. But sure, I can try. Poutine is fire. Poutine is, if you don't know, it's a little bit of a Canadian staple, delicacy. I don't know what you want to call it. But basically fries with some cheese curds, some bacon, and then some nice gravy drizzled on top. Ooh, delicious. I think Nick Casserole has been doing a good job so far given the situation. He definitely walked into probably one of the toughest situations to deal with. Just a whole lot of stuff on his plate. And I think I've been hard on him at times, but I've also given him praise where he deserves praise. And moves like the Anthony Miller trade, I mean, that's the most recent example. I really like it. I really like going after that young guy. I think he's doing solid. Watson will play for Houston, mark my words. Hey, maybe Nibbler's got the inside deets. Michael Wilson says, why did Tunsil like that D4 will start week 1? Hey, maybe he knows. My boy Laramie Tunsil. Maybe he knows something we don't know. Did it say the D4 will start for the Texans week 1? Or did he just say he'll start week 1? How long he's going to trade for 3 first rounders? What are you expecting back from Green Bay for Cobb? Yeah, I was talking about it. I saw someone on Twitter saying, hey, Cobb's he's going to start for them. And the fact that, you know, he is what's hinging on Aaron Rodgers returning to the Packers, that we should get pretty good capital in return. And, you know, I love the sound of that for sure. But you also got to think Cobb is, let me find his age, but on the wrong side of 30. Randall Cobb age. Why is it not showing like it normally does? Look on my phone. But he's on the wrong side of 30. Randall Cobb age. He is 30. There you go. 30 years old. And with his contract, it's a lot of money. And Green Bay isn't a team that likes to take on those big types of contracts. They don't like to pay guys outside of their own internal development. So it's a lot of money to take on. And so with all that being said, I think I would expect probably best case scenario is a 4th round pick. Worst case scenario is a 6th round pick. Maybe best case scenario is a conditional 3rd. But I think realistically, you're probably going to get a 5th. Maybe a 6th and a 7th. Yeah, that's what I would expect. Deshaun will be the week 1 starter from Ben. Oh, I remember who was somebody. Yeah, Ben on top. Yeah. Hey, man. If Deshaun gonna tell anybody, he gonna tell his star franchise left tackle. Never know. Can't say never. Blake Valdez for Cobb. Oh, do you mean Marquez Valdez-Scantling for Cobb? That would be nice. Let's take a look at the Green Bay Packers roster, because I did mention that, you know, draft pick is probably the most likely thing, but don't put it past Nick Caserio to swindle a player. And getting a young player would be huge, would be highway robbery for Randall Cobb. Highway robbery. So there's some interesting guys like Jake Hansen. Maybe he could be a center of the future. He was center of the future. Did I say that right? I don't even know. But he was a rookie last year. I kind of like him out of Oregon. Josh Myers is a rookie this year, so I don't think they're going to trade him. As for cornerbacks, I mean, we're not going to get Jair. Josh Jackson could be an interesting name. He hasn't been too good, but I did love him out of college. He's kind of flipped around from cornerback and safety. Kevin King just got signed to a 1 or 2 year deal, but y'all hate Kevin King. I tried to say how Kevin King is good, but hey, y'all hate him for some reason. None of the other cornerbacks really get my eye. Kenny Clark's too good. Not seeing Elton Jenkins would be great, but he's too good. Lucas Patrick, maybe? I kind of like Lucas Patrick. He's a solid guard. He's 27. I mean, if you could get him, I would take it. I think he would start at left guard. I think he started right guard for them all year, and he was pretty solid. So if Cannon ain't going to play guard, he could be your guard. Only 27. I mean, he can play for another 6, maybe 7 years. Probably 5, 6 years. That wouldn't be too bad. Who else? Go get Mason Crosby. I'm just trying to be realistic here. Like, we ain't gonna get Rashawn Gary. We ain't gonna get Zadarius Smith or no one. We can go get a punter, J.K. Scott. Blake Bortles. Oh, man. Jordan Love would be amazing, but I don't think we're going to get that type of capital for him. Who else? Patrick Taylor could be an interesting running back. He was a rookie last year, super athletic. He can do some running back, do some slot wide receiver. That would be an interesting name. I saw Adrian Amos being floated out there. I think I'd rather just give the snaps to Justin Reed and Lonnie Johnson at safety. But that could be a name. Josiah DeGuara would be interesting. Or Jay Sternberger or Robert Tonyan, but I know they like Robert Tonyan a lot. But these two tight ends, Jay Sternberger or Josiah DeGuara, both both athletic guys. And so that could be something. Alan Lazard. I like Alan Lazard a lot, to be honest. I like Equinemius St. Brown and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So I think maybe those wide receivers could be something. But I don't think they're going to give up a weapon just to get a weapon. Like, Rodgers' whole thing is that he wants as many weapons as possible, right? So I think it would come at a different position. Or just a draft pick. All right, I feel like Cobb for Jair would kind of make up for the Hop trade. Hey, we could love some off crazy lopsided trade like that. For sure. I think Blake Martinez was the name. Good cover linebacker. How old is he? Blake Martinez. Isn't he not on the Packers no more? He is showing up on their roster. So I don't know. All of your videos are low. Yeah, I don't know what's been happening recently with the mic, but it seems like y'all are saying that it's been good for this stream, so that's good. Only punter I want on the Texans is destroying. Yes, sir. Yeah, this is probably the last 10 minutes of the stream, but I always like to get our Texans Thoughts team leaders in here. If you guys, I know Jay's in here. I think H-Town Henry, I saw you. If you want to call into the stream, let me know in the chat, and I'll get you here in the Discord. That is a perk of Texans Thoughts team leaders. You can join the team, become a member, become a leader, and get some exclusive content, man. We got a whole bunch of linebackers. Yeah, that's true, man. We need a linebacker? No. Nah, man. Linebackers are going to be Christian Kirksey at Mike, Zach Cunningham at Will, and then you'll rotate in guys like Kevin Pierre-Louis, Joe Thomas. We've got too many of those damn linebackers to be competing with, man. Too many of them. Do you pay attention to the Rockets? Ooh, we can talk some Rockets real quick. If you want. Looks like Jalen Green is the pick, man. I get it. I totally get it, and I'm going to be happy with it for Rockets fans. Mobley was my guy. I've talked about that on the most recent exclusive stream, but hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Green's a fun guy who can be that number one on a potentially contending team, right? His scoring at 6'6", his pure athleticism, it's just really, really fun to watch. And what he's done in the G League against people who were once quality NBA players, it's unprecedented. It's unprecedented. And because of that, because there's no history, whether it's good or bad, to me, it makes it a little bit of a question mark. But you also got to think, I mean, he's doing this against grown men. What would he do against other 18, 19-year-olds in college? So definitely get the hype on Jalen Green. I think it'll be interesting to see how he and KPJ play together, how they can play make for one another, who's taking the tougher defensive matchup, and how they can grow in those other areas of the game, because we know they gonna put the ball in the basket, man. They gonna put the ball in the basket, but hey, basketball's more than just that. So I'll be interested to see their development there. Cavs get a great prospect in Evan Mobley. As for the rest of the draft, man, the Rockets, they have, 23 and 24 as well. If you're going to go green, then if you're trying to add these more pillars to your team, I would focus on guys who can really play defense. Obviously, you just kind of want to focus on best player available, but I would focus on guys who really want to play defense. And so if they're there, a guy like Jared Butler, point guard out of Baylor, he does it all, man. He really does it all. Or a guy like Deuce McBride, out of West Virginia. He's a dog. Deuce McBride is like Marcus Smart to me. I really like him. And then guys like, what's his name? What is his name? Who's the wing? Kessler Edwards. That's his name, out of Pepperdine. 24 might be a bit early for him. Maybe you trade down, get 2 seconds or something. But I really like Kessler Edwards as a wing defender, that 3-and-D type stereotype. Trey Murphy's the other guy to think about. 6'9", 40% from 3. I mean, he's just like a role player at heart. Like, just think about Trevor Ariza in his best years with you guys. That is really what Trey Murphy can be. But he's more athletic, honestly. He can get up, man. Trey Murphy's the other guy for sure. I like Trey Mann as a shot creator. One of the best handles in the class, probably top 3. Don't nobody want Eli Manning's clone. Usman Garuba, he's the guy I want for my Lakers, picking at 22. I don't think he falls to the 20s, but if he does, and if he's there for the Rockets, oh man, Usman Garuba is a mix to me of Draymond Green without the handle, and PJ Tucker. I mean, just that undersized 4/5 who's going to be a dog, the heart of your defense, making rotations, blocking, getting steals, and then you hope he can build on that corner 3 and space the floor on offense. And he's a good playmaker as well. I really like Garuba. Would you do an NBA mock draft for the Rockets or no? I might do something like that on Twitter. That would be fun. I might do something like that on Twitter, but I wouldn't make a video about it. Houston Rockets, my team. I just hope they don't give up too much if they do. If they do trade back, or are you talking about for Deshaun? My Grizzlies finesse the Pelicans. Oh, I forgot that trade. Yeah, I mean, I think it was a good trade for both sides. The Grizzlies-Pelicans trade. The Grizzlies got, Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe, and the number 10 pick, and a future first as well for, who was it, Jonas Valanciunas. And Valanciunas is probably, the second best Grizzly last year, maybe third best. But it's a good, retooling move to get younger. I agree with you, Matt. I agree with you. That 10th pick in a deep class, you're going to get someone. You're going to get someone who's going to be a pillar of your team, for sure. For sure. And the other thing is that the Grizzlies, they took on all that cap from Steven Adams and from Eric Bledsoe, who's apparently not even going to be on the team. Apparently they're going to trade him as well. But they're a team that can afford to take on those big contracts because, they're not a big, free agent attraction. Not yet. You get Ja and JJJ some more years showing themselves off. They could become one. But as of right now, they're not going to be going for no big fishes. And so they can eat that cap space anyways. Be in Boston. Fuck Boston. Is Pat still here? Fuck Boston. Fuck Boston. I'm a Lakers fan, so fuck Boston. Yeah, Dylan Brooks. He's really underrated. He's really, really underrated. Love his game. He a dog, man. He a dog. All right. Yeah, man, I think that's going to do it for the stream. I appreciate y'all. It's been really nice to have a good resurgence of y'all coming through for the stream. I'm excited. Football season is ready. If you want to go back, rewatch some parts of the stream. We talked about the Deshaun Watson trade scenario, covered all the sketchy timing of it, the potential packages, talked about potential timing of when it should happen. And then We talked about Anthony Miller, that whole trade, Randall Cobb. Talked about the offensive line stuff, position battle, stuff like that. And yeah, man, one last chance to hit the like and sub button. Exactly, Beige says it perfectly. Thank you, my guy. Follow me on Twitter, Texans_thoughts. Check out all the Texans Unfiltered boys. James, John, Jair, Pat. Oh, we got so many J's. God damn. But yeah, check out the pod. Check out the site. Pod will be tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central, so go check out Texans Unfiltered for sure. Hit the like button and subscribe. It's free. Exactly, Jay. What's good, Jordan? I'm late. L Mail. Dang, you are literally late, bro. I'm gonna have to give you an L and slap that on your report card. So sucks for you, but stream's gonna be done, man. Stream's gonna be done. Sup, Creative Ellie / Chris. How you doing? Stream's gonna be done. Look out for an Anthony Miller trade, or not trade, video. Maybe at the end of this week, maybe like Friday. But honestly, it might have to come next week just because NFL Game Pass won't work. And let me watch, man. It sucks. And J Pat. Exactly. You got it, Beige. You got it. All right, y'all. Take care. Have a great rest of the week. And